Cheers and welcome my friends, I'm Horath Drak and this is going to be my tips and tutorial video on diplomacy in Imperator Rome. If you're interested in the other topics that I've covered in tutorial videos for Imperator Rome, then click on the playlist link, it's in the description or at the end of the video. Now let's get to it. One thing that is easy to miss and that passed me by for quite a while but that can help you fine-tune your country is the diplomatic stance of your country. If you go to diplomacy and you have your own country selected, should you have another one selected, just click on your symbol over here to select your home country. What you can change is your stance over here. So currently we're Carthage. Carthage has a mercantile stance which increases their national commerce income, makes it cheaper for them to create new trade routes, and increases the opinion of others that are also looking to trade. If you want to change this, click on this and you'll see the other stances. So neutral stance increases the amount of diplomatic relations that you have. That's the starting thing for most countries. If you're above the amount of relations that you can have, your power costs will increase, so that's pretty bad. So this can sometimes be helpful. Appeasing stance will reduce your aggressive expansion. Every time you take land or take hostile actions, your aggressive expansion will take up. Other countries will think worse of you, and your own population that isn't of your culture will also think worse of you. This makes this go way quicker, allows you to improve relations faster. Mercantile stance we already talked about. Bellicose stance, if you're looking to conquer a lot, then this will allow you to fabricate claims cheaper, and it will also reduce the cost that you, the amount of war score that you need to take provinces. So that can actually help you take bigger chunks out of your neighbor. And then you have the subjugative stance. If you have a lot of vassals and you want to integrate them, this is probably the way to go. This allows you to integrate them faster, makes them more loyal. So this is quite nice. You can change this, but each time one ruler does this, the price actually goes up. So let's say we'll switch to the bellicose stance. Over here, you can see that the price now went up. One stance change done by Hannibal Gerbelit. So this is more of a long-term thing, but it can be well worth it to change this to kind of fit your policy. You can also see the stance of other countries. That is over here. So these guys have a neutral stance. Salami over here has a neutral stance. Rome, on the other hand, bellicose stance. So this can also give you a bit of a hint about the agenda of the states around you if you look at that. I found declaring wars without any casus belli actually not a bad thing, and maybe even optimal, because you have a lot of things that eat oratory power, which you need to fabricate proper claims. You can bring that down a little bit with an invention that you can choose right from the start of the game, which reduces this by 10%, and then you can also go and actually go for the bellicose stance, which reduces this by another 20%. But even then, it's very expensive, and oratory power is something that you need for a ton of aspects in your country. So I'd rather not spend the oratory power, so I'll just declare the war without the casus belli. Whatever, we lose 2 stability, we can just spend that religious power, and there's not that much that you're gonna spend your religious power on other than pushing up stability and going for the omens. So that's something to be considered for sure. The only time where I would not do that is if I fight a human player. Against a human player, it is actually worth its weight in gold. If you have a claim and you're able to get that claim, you can get all the provinces in that claim under your control. You'll get not only a ticking war score of up to 25, whereas a no-CB war will always be a war to show superiority, which means you have to have a war score of 10 from battles, so you need 11 or higher. Of battles, but this can also go away, right? If you lose a bunch of battles. But the more important thing is if you control the war goal. Let's say this was my war goal over here, this province. If I declared on Egypt, if I control all these provinces in the province of Palestine, and that is my war goal, after 1,000 days of me controlling that, I'm going to be able to just force them to give that up. There's nothing that they can do about it. And human players can be quite a bit more stubborn than the AI in terms of accepting their defeat. So against human players, do fabricate the claim, take the hit to oratory power, and take something that you can easily take and hold and that you actually want to get. And versus the AI, just no CB war them and get what you can. Just eat the stability reduction, and that's going to be fine. You're not going to be able to do much with the religious power in any case. A very tiny tip that can maybe help you understand the motives of the AI a little bit better and what's going to happen to you, is a modifier to diplomatic actions that the AI has that is called planning your demise. Look at this with Sparta, and if I want to offer Macedon an alliance, they have -40 because we're competing power, but they also have -1000 because they're planning my demise. So at this point, I can pretty safely say that they're probably going to attack me within the next couple of months, because they really don't want anything to do with anything. They're just going to attack me. So if you actually catch this soon enough, maybe just like check on your surrounding huge powers quite often, especially if you're just a smaller power like I am over here. This can give you a hint and a little bit of a warning period where you can try to maybe make another alliance or build up troops or something like that. Let me tell you about a strategy that lets you get around a truce. It's been part of the Paradox games for quite a while, that whenever you go to peace, you also have a truce with the country that you made peace with, but there is a way to get around that truce and to keep continuing doing war. So we're at war here with Macedon, and if I sue for peace, let's just say I take something. So yeah, this is 99% war score, so it's fine. I'll take this. Let's do it. It's going to increase my rank to major power. Yeah, sure, we'll sack the home of Alexander the Great. That's fine. Now we have a truce with Macedon now. You'll see if I let it run a second. Okay, so these guys are no longer they're no longer occupied, but Macedon still has an alliance with Triconensia. We don't have a truce with Triconensia. They're up here. So what I can do is attack these dudes. The allies will join. Wham! We're at war with Macedon again, and we can eat the rest of them. And that is something that you can do in a lot of situations, where you can just try to get around an existing truce if you really want to take someone down as quickly as possible and salt their fields. Yay, you made it to the end of the video. By now you know the drill. Click the like button, subscribe, ring the bell, ring all the bells, ring your mother's bell, and thanks for watching.